We used to go to I grew up in Sacramento. I was born and raised in Sacramento. I used to go to
Welcome, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, to our channel, where we come together to share profound, emotional stories from Hollywood, stories that evoke memories and touch the heart. Today, we embark on a special journey, a journey about a man who has become an icon of authenticity, a true cowboy in the glamorous world of cinema. Are you curious? At the age of 80, a Hollywood star has spoken out, revealing a secret that has shocked the world. 6 actors he simply cannot abide. Who are they? Why? Stay with me, because this story will take you back to the golden days of Western films while shedding light on the hidden corners of Hollywood that few dare to mention. This is an emotional journey, and I promise to tell it to you like an old friend, sharing a story over a cup of coffee in the evening. Sam Elliott. The name alone conjures the image of a man with his signature mustache, a deep, warm voice like the wind blowing across the prairie, and eyes so profound they hold a lifetime of experience. For those of us who grew up through the 1950s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, Sam Elliott is more than just an actor. He is the embodiment of an era, a time when films carried the grit, honesty, and soul of their stories. Do you remember those cozy evenings, gathered with family around a black and white screen, watching Tombstone, The Big Lebowski, Conager, or The Sackets, and feeling every line Sam delivered as if he were telling the story of his own life? That voice, as if honed by the sand and wind of the West, has become a part of our memories, hasn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, it brings to mind the days when films were art, stories of people living with sincerity, resilience, and an unwavering belief in timeless values, values that we, at this age, still hold dear. But behind that rugged exterior, behind the image of the unyielding cowboy, lies a story few know. At 80, when many of us choose to enjoy the peaceful sunsets of life, sitting on the porch with a good book or a cup of tea, Sam Elliott has decided to break his silence. He has openly shared about 6 actors he cannot tolerate, individuals who, in his view, have harmed the art of filmmaking or left deep wounds in his heart. Are you curious? Who could have provoked a calm, reserved man like Sam Elliott to speak out? Why? After 6 decades dedicated to cinema, has he chosen this moment to reveal his truth? Is he defending a legacy? Or is this a moment where he feels compelled to voice a truth he's held inside for too long? Join me, dear friends, as we uncover each name, each story, and you'll see that Hollywood is not just glitz and glamour, but also silent battles, unspoken conflicts, and values slowly fading into obscurity. Let's begin with the first name, Kevin Costner. Ladies and gentlemen, do you remember Yellowstone, the wildly popular TV series that has captivated millions with its sweeping cinematography, sprawling fields, and dramatic dialogue? For many, Costner is the epitome of the modern cowboy, portraying John Dutton with strength, decisiveness, and commanding presence. But for Sam Elliott, Costner is a polished Hollywood version, a man with clean boots, slick features, and perfect lighting, but lacking the true soul of the West. Sam grew up in a rugged environment, steeped in dust and discipline. For him, playing a cowboy isn't just acting, it's a code of ethics, a way of life that demands authenticity, sacrifice, and a deep connection to the land. Don't you agree with me that when you watch Sam in Conager or The Sackets, you can smell the leather, feel the weight of every glance, as if he's lived those days, ridden horses under a starry sky, and faced the biting winds of the prairie? Sam was once offered a guest role in Yellowstone, but he declined outright. He called it a soap opera masquerading as a cowboy story, a glamorous fantasy world created for people who've never dug a fence post, never smelled livestock at sunrise, or felt the solitude of a rancher on the vast plains. Are you surprised? A man who has spent his life preserving the authentic image of the West chose to walk away, uncompromising. But what was it about Costner that Sam couldn't stomach? It was the sense that Costner was playing a role he didn't truly understand, as if he were cosplaying. While fans raved about Yellowstone's stunning visuals and gripping drama, Sam simply shook his head, unable to see the West he once knew, a West of sweat, dirt, and harsh realities. But let's think deeper. Dear friends, Sam Elliott isn't just talking about Costner. He's addressing a changing Hollywood where glamour overshadows authenticity, where traditional values are pushed aside for slick stories designed to captivate audiences through algorithms and stage lighting. Have you noticed? Some fans agree with Sam, calling Yellowstone a soap opera in a cowboy hat, lacking the true spirit of the West. One person wrote, "I've never watched Yellowstone because it looks more like a drama series than a cowboy film." Another said, "Costner never convinced me he was a real cowboy, not like Sam, who brings the soul of the West to the screen." What do you think? Is Sam being too harsh, or is he simply defending his legacy? I'd love to hear your thoughts, because this story has so much more to explore. Next of all, let's talk about Benedict Cumberbatch. Ladies and gentlemen, do you recall The Power of the Dog? The 2021 film with its modern take on masculinity and the West. The movie sparked controversy, hailed by some as a masterpiece for its artistic cinematography and layered storytelling. But for Sam Elliott, it was an insult. In 2021, Sam shocked Hollywood by publicly criticizing the film, particularly its British star, Benedict Cumberbatch. To Sam, Cumberbatch was an outsider, an English actor with no understanding of America's Western culture. He once said, his voice heavy with disappointment, "I mean, what does this English guy know about the American West?" Can you feel the quiet anger in those words? For Sam, The Power of the Dog wasn't just a bad film. It was a misguided romanticization of the West, a genre he'd spent his life honoring. The public's reaction was intense. Cumberbatch's fans called Sam a relic of a bygone era, too rigid to embrace the evolution of Western films. Critics accused him of clinging to outdated notions of masculinity and refusing to make space for new voices. Some even suggested Sam was gatekeeping, unwilling to share the stage with modern approaches. But Sam didn't back down. He issued no clarifications, no retractions. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think he was right to stand firm like a rock? Or should he have been more open to new perspectives? This story makes me wonder, are we, at this age, holding tightly to the values we believe are right? Or do we also need to open our hearts to the next generation? Interestingly, some fans pointed out that Sam later apologized for these comments, a detail the video doesn't mention. Does that change how you view him? And consider this. In a world where Hollywood increasingly chases new trends, where films are designed to shock or stir controversy, is there still a place for people like Sam, who believe art must stay true to its roots? One fan wrote, "Sam is the true icon of the West, while Cumberbatch looks like he belongs in Downton Abbey, not a ranch." Another said, "I agree with Sam. The Power of the Dog didn't feel like a Western. It was too artistic, too detached from reality." Do you agree? I'm eager to hear your thoughts. Dear friends. Now, let's move to a more controversial name, Ashton Kutcher. Do you remember The Ranch, the Netflix comedy where Sam and Kutcher co-starred? For Sam, acting is a sacred art, honed through discipline, patience, and emotional authenticity. Every role must come from a deep, human place. But with Kutcher, Sam saw only a celebrity coasting on looks, luck, and comedic roles from That 70s Show. Did you know that on the set of The Ranch, Crew members noticed tension between the two. Though no harsh words were ever spoken, Sam once muttered to a friend, "He acts like he learned it from YouTube." Those words cut deep, don't they, ladies and gentlemen? But for Sam, it wasn't about jealousy, it was disappointment. Seeing a Hollywood where followers matter more than skill, where charm overshadows soul. Some fans agree with Sam, calling Kutcher a shallow actor who relies on looks and fame. One wrote, "Kutcher isn't an actor, he's just the boyfriend of actresses." Another said, "I tried watching The Ranch for Sam, but Kutcher was unbearable. He has no depth." Yet others argue Kutcher brought freshness to The Ranch, and Sam may have been too harsh. Which side are you on? And consider this. Sam, a man who puts art first, worked with Kutcher out of professionalism, but his heart clearly wasn't in it. Have you ever worked with someone you didn't respect just because the job demanded it? I'd love to hear your stories, because we've all had those experiences, haven't we? Next up is Nicolas Cage. Oh, this is a divisive name. With his eccentric acting style, wild eyes, and sudden outbursts, Cage has built a loyal fan base. But for Sam Elliott, Cage is chaos incarnate. Sam believes the most powerful acting comes from restraint, from a raised eyebrow, a heavy pause, or words held back just long enough to leave a lasting impact. Do you remember Sam's role in Ghost Rider, where he starred alongside Cage? On set, Sam kept his distance, polite but cold. He once told a friend, "Big bang, no heat." Do you catch his meaning? Cage is like fireworks, dazzling but fleeting, while Sam is a slow-burning flame, steady and profound. The question is Cage a misunderstood genius? Or is Sam right that he's just putting on a show? Some Cage fans praise his boldness and unpredictability, while others agree with Sam that he lacks subtlety. One fan wrote, "Cage plays the same role, himself, in every movie." Another said, "I love Sam for his stillness, but Cage is too loud, like he's trying to steal attention." What do you think? And consider this. In a world where cinema increasingly chases shock value, do actors like Sam, with their quiet depth, still have a place? I'm curious to hear your opinions, dear friends. Now, we come to an unexpected name. A heartbreaking story, Jeff Bridges. Do you remember The Big Lebowski, where Sam and Bridges were like two sides of the same coin, together creating a cultural masterpiece? They were once close friends, men who shared a quiet authenticity and a belief in letting their work speak for itself. They didn't need flashy monologues or dramatic scenes to command a frame. Their power came from presence, from a captivating stillness few actors can achieve. Could you feel their bond when you watched them on screen? But then, something changed. After Bridges won an Oscar for Crazy Heart, Sam noticed his old friend becoming different. Bridges started appearing in high-fashion magazines, attending red carpets with political slogans, and seemingly losing the simplicity they once cherished together. Can you feel the pain in this story? A friendship built on respect and shared values, now fractured in silence. Sam once said, cryptically, "Some people change, others just reveal who they really are." Do you think that was a jab at Bridges, or simply the regret of a friend? What makes this story even more heartbreaking is the silence that followed. Sam and Bridges stopped attending the same events, stopped supporting each other's projects, stopped being brothers on screen. Have you ever lost a close friend? Not over a big fight, but because of quiet differences that built up over time. I believe many of us, at this age, understand that pain. Share your stories in the comments, because I know you have memories like these too. Finally, we have Jared Leto. Oh, this name is a storm in itself. With his extreme method acting, sending dead rats to co-stars or refusing to break character for weeks, Leto has made a name for himself. But for Sam Elliott, it's all a gimmick, a theatrical stunt masquerading as talent. Did you know Sam was once attached to a film project, but when he heard Leto was cast, he quietly withdrew? No explanation, no press release, just a clear line drawn. For Sam, acting must be honest, human, not a circus of ego. What do you think of Leto? A quirky genius? Or an actor trying too hard to stand out? More importantly, do you see Sam Elliott as a guardian of art, or just a man unable to accept change? Reflect on this, because this story isn't just about Sam, it's about the values we hold dear in life. As I look back on Sam Elliott's journey, I see a man who has spent his life defending what he believes is right. At 80, he's no longer chasing roles. He's chasing truth. Can you feel the strength in that resolve? In a noisy Hollywood, where algorithms and fame overshadow art, Sam Elliott remains the last true cowboy, unafraid to stand alone to protect his legacy. But this story also raises a bigger question. Are we, at this age, clinging tightly to our values, or do we also need to learn to adapt to a changing world? Now, I want to hear from you, dear friends. Which feud surprised you the most? Do you think Sam Elliott is being too harsh, or is he saying what we all feel? Have you ever loved an actor only to be disappointed when they changed? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe to catch more heartfelt Hollywood stories. Keep loving films, loving truth, and loving the memories that have shaped us. Wishing you a warm evening.